and surely have picked up 3 precious points.
Very warm welcome to Orient Live. I'm Ollie Buck and I'm here with Jordan Graham this afternoon, and Sean Clare is in transit. He's just finished his training session at the training ground and he'll be with us very shortly, and we'll be covering all the action as the O's look to clinch safety and keep their place in League One. Although things are looking a little bit rosier since the last time Jordan was with us. And Jordan, things have picked up. I think it was the Wimbledon game you did where things had just started to go on the climb, and since then we're in a much better position.
Yeah, absolutely, Ollie. First of all, great to be back. As always, love being on here. So thank you for having me. And yeah, I think since the Stevenage win, that 4-game winning run really eased a lot of the pressure off the whole club in general. Really, the staff, the boys, the fans. I think there's a lot of anxiety that was building due to the league position, but I think that run has made it certainly a slightly more comfortable back end towards the end of this season. But even if you look at the last 2 results, even though we probably haven't performed as well as Richie would have liked in the Wigan game and in the Exeter game, there were 2 good clean sheets. So they're 2 points on the board, and at this stage of the season, you can never take those points for granted. So yeah. Definitely in a much better place than what we were probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, and now it's all about kicking on and finishing the season strong.
Let's talk about the table then. So only 4 points separating ourselves and Exeter, who we're on 50, they're on 46 in 21st. We do have a game in hand. We are joint on points. We've all got 50 points, 15th, 16th, 17th. It's so tight. It's not safe, or we're not completely safe yet. So points and wins are still going to be crucial for us.
Absolutely, but I think, do you know what? I think it's all about, Ollie, it's all about just taking each game as it comes. I think I've been in this position myself as a player, and the lads are going to be experiencing this now. It's just not looking past the next game, and it sounds really cliche, and I'm not a massive fan of when I talk about football. I don't like to say too many things that are cliche, but it really is about just taking each game for what it is. Today, of course, you can look at it from 2 ways. One, it's an extremely difficult fixture. Lincoln have had a fantastic season, and I'm sure we'll touch on them and how they've got to where they are right now later on in the build-up. But you can also flip that and look at it as in a case of they've secured promotion now. So what they've been up to the last few days, I don't know, but I'm sure they've been enjoying themselves. So the lads can go here and hopefully put them under pressure, put them be on the front foot, get in their faces, and see what happens. But I really think that it's important that when you're a player in this position now, you don't look past the game that's in front of you. The next game is the most important one, and getting too obsessed with the league table and stuff, I think it just doesn't help. It doesn't help the mind. It doesn't help players' confidence. I think it's just focusing on the next game, even the next training session, being better every day right now towards the end of the season is what's gonna matter the most.
Is there anything that comes in though where, and I think Theo touched on it in his pre-match interview, Richie's spoken about it, building momentum and having a strong end to the season, because you'd imagine a lot of this squad will look the same next season, and we're looking to kind of carry that on into the end. So is there a part of us that will be looking to maybe look a little bit further ahead?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great point that you make, because I remember I sat in a meeting with Richie actually, which wasn't too long ago, and the general consensus of that was, obviously let's sort our form out. This was prior to the Stevenage game, and we went on that winning run. So it's like, let's sort where we are right now and let's stay in the league. That's our number one priority. And then there's a real positive feeling about the group that has been building. And I think it's been quite difficult over the previous years because we've lost so many of our good players. But I feel like now we've signed some good players on some longer term deals, and there's a feeling that next season can be a really, really good season. So our main priority, of course, is to stay in the league, which I think those 4 wins really have helped us to put us in a much better place than what we were in before. And then now it's about finishing, like I said, finishing the season really strong. Everyone looking after themselves in the off season, coming back next season and ready for a really positive year, because I do think that there's a real good chance that we can have a fantastic season next season.
Now you've touched on it already, but today's opposition currently sit top of the table, 90 points. They confirmed promotion over the Easter weekend. They're now looking at probably being champions, reaching 100 points. So they're obviously a fantastic side. But as you've already said as well, hopefully they've been partying a bit and this slightly shorter break than normal as well.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they have been up to over the last few days, whatever that may be, hopefully it puts them at a disadvantage for us today. But no, they've been outstanding this year. They have been absolutely fantastic. I think I don't think they've lost a game since the 1st of January in the league, which I mean is outrageous. I think Marcus Cabala's done a fantastic job there. I think he's been there just over 2.5 years now. But again, it's one of those cases where he's had the opportunity to pretty much keep a sustained squad. He's added to his squad. The squad hasn't changed so much in the last couple of years, so he's just built year on year. They've got a real solid foundation, and that's not easy, you know, to be at a club where that's always the case. You know, a lot of the times you lose players and you have to almost rebuild and start again and rebuild and start again, but he's had that time, which again is another luxury in football, no matter what league or what level you're in. A lot of managers don't get that time. So he's had that time, but combined with the time, he's also had the luxury of keeping some of his really good players and building over the last couple of years. So yeah, they've been outstanding this year, and there's no doubt that, I mean, whatever they have been up to in the last few days, it's going to be a difficult game for us regardless. But fingers crossed, you know, we go up there and you know, we put on a really good performance, and hopefully we can take 3 points.
It's quite an interesting journey for Scabala. He was the under-21s and coach at Leeds. I think he was assistant to the first team at points, but he's kind of been an unknown. And I think his first win for Lincoln was against us a couple of seasons ago. And what a journey they've been on. But we can spoil their party today. Yeah. Maybe not completely.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a big ask, of course. I mean, the stat I mentioned earlier, Ollie, about them not losing a game in the league since the start of the year is just proves how good they have been in the form that they are in. So yes, but it's not going to be an easy task whatsoever. But they're a really interesting team as well, because they I think one of Marcus Cabala's biggest attributes is that he's built the team and to suit the way that he wants to play. They're not, I wouldn't say, anywhere near the levels of, say, for example, a Cardiff, who have a very footballing, progressive, possession-based style of play. He plays to their strengths. They're relatively direct. They get the ball forward when they pretty quickly, but their intensity is always through the roof. They run for each other. They've got great team chemistry, and a lot of that is linked to what I said previously about the bond and the time that they've had to build and progress as a group. And I think it's all come together for them nicely this season. And I think that, you know, it's safe to say that I think they're going to win the league as champions, and I think it'll be well deserved.
Well, hopefully the O's can do their best to stop Lincoln from running towards that league title too quickly. Of course, the O's will be looking to pick up those crucial points themselves. But before we take a look at the sides for this afternoon's clash, let's hear from the assistant manager. It's Paul Terry.
Peter here, ahead of the Lincoln City game away from home. What are your thoughts heading into the game?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough game, we know that. We're under no illusions. They got promoted during the week or last weekend, so it's a tough game. They've had a great season, but a game we're looking forward to.
How big of an accomplishment has it been for Lincoln City to get promoted?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable for them, you know. But we can't get dragged into that. Do you know what I mean? We've got to go there and be about us. You know, they have done fantastic, and Michael's done brilliant with them. But we need to go there and we need to pick up some points, and that's what we fully intend to do.
How would you reflect on the Huddersfield game? Obviously, last-minute heartbreak.
Yeah, it was disappointing to lose the way we did. You know, I said after the game, I thought we'd done all right the first half. We just needed to adapt a little bit second half and change the way we played and adjust to the game. In fact, you know what I mean, a little bit better than what we did, but very disappointed to lose that way. But we've been on a good run, and that game don't define our next 5 games either.
Was it frustrating? 6 games unbeaten, then you do lose in the last minute. Has that taken a toll on the team? No,
not at all. We've made sure that we don't let that happen. Do you know what I mean? Because it's important. They've been on a really good run. They've been playing well, and we've picked up some really good results. So, like I said, that result isn't going to define us for the rest of the season. We need to pick ourselves up, which we have, and the players have done that as well as the staff, and go again. And what better place than go to Lincoln?
The defence won 3 clean sheets in a row. How impressed have you been with them in recent weeks?
Yeah, they've been fantastic. Everyone has, though. You know, it ain't just the defence. When we're keeping clean sheets, it ain't just about the defenders. You know, they get all the accolades with clean sheets, but a lot of our work comes from the front as well. With the front players, we've got Dom, Charlie, Azim, Demi. You know, like Theo. listen, a lot of work goes in at the top end of the pitch that stops the ball getting to our box, really. Do you know what I mean? But listen, the defenders, when they've been called upon as well, have been fantastic. They've defended the box, they've blocked, they've clearances, they've been outstanding.
Right then, let's take a look and see how the O's shape up against the Imps for this afternoon's clash. Then starting in goal for the O's, Will Dennis returns in between the sticks. And it's a back three for the O's with Jack Simpson and Dan Happy in a three alongside the captain Will Forrester. Tom James and James Morris are in the wide fullback positions with Azim Abdullahi partnering Idris El Mazouni in midfield. Tyreek Bakinson and Dimitri Mitchell both play just behind Don Ballard, who leads the line for the O's. And on the bench is Toby Oluwayemi, AJ Matthews, Michael Craig, Caelan Casey, Sonny Perkins, Lamar Gordon and Charlie Wellens. Let's not make any bones about it. I mean, obviously, we've got yourself and Sean in, who both injured. No Wally O'Neill, no Aaron Connolly. We're a little bit light, and I think maybe that the back 3/5 choice today, Richie's maybe been forced into making that call due to the injuries we've been dealt.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's probably you look at the bench, probably a little bit light there in terms of injuries and absentees, but I think one of the positives about this game, Ollie, in my opinion, is because of statistically how people are going to look at it is that it's, you know, Lincoln are going to be clear favourites if you were to go off league positions, and if you were to go off form, the expectation would be on Lincoln to probably win this game. But I think for us, we can look at it as almost, I don't like using the term too much a free hit, because I don't think any game in the league really is a free hit. They're all just as important as each other, but the pressure is kind of off the lads here because of how well Lincoln have performed this season. So I think that they can play with a little bit of freedom today, and there's an opportunity in there for some players that maybe will come off the bench as well that haven't had as many minutes as they'd like to. So yeah, it's a chance to go and impress the manager and impress the staff and show what they're capable of. And like PT touched on there in his pre-match interview, you know, what better occasion to go to the league leaders and put on a performance and show people what you can do.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen Dimitri Mitchell return. He's in there alongside Bakinson, who played in maybe a slightly unfamiliar role of kind of the more advanced of the midfielders. It's interesting, those two in there. They're two different players, Dimitri and Tyreek.
Yeah, very different players, but also very talented players in their own way. And I think for Tyreek, I think it's fantastic, because I'm really pleased to see the form that he's came into, because he had a little sticky patch earlier on in the season and things got a little bit difficult for him, and he started missing out on. He went from starting to not being involved in the squad and then being back on the bench, and he's worked really hard, and he's a really good professional. He's a fantastic athlete, and I think he's got so many fantastic attributes as a football player. Very similar to Azim, very powerful, can drive forward with the ball. He's hard to stop. He's so strong, and I think, you know, T-Backs, when he's in top form, is a fantastic player at this level, a real asset. And with Dimitri, he's you know, playing next to Tyreek, as he's touched on, two contrast styles of players, but Demi more agile, super sharp. Like, I've recently gone back into training and training with Demi. I've seen how nimble and difficult he is to get the ball off, and how explosive he can be, and he's really quick. And Demi as well is probably will be the first to say he hasn't had, you know, as good as a season as he probably would have wanted, but he's started to come into some real nice form over the last couple of months too. So again, and this leads on to what I was saying previously in terms of next season. I think the boys have found a lot of the lads that maybe haven't had the greatest 6-7 months of the season have now started to come into some nice form when the times were getting tough, which shows a lot about their character too. So yeah, some real positive signs moving forward for the group as a whole.
And looking at the fixture today, then, you know, we've spoke about it, and I'm sure we'll speak about it again, but this Lincoln side is dangerous. It's going to be all about our defence there, and those three, Simo, Haps and Forrester at the back. It's going to be a big afternoon for them.
It is indeed, but three really, really good defenders. Really good defenders, and you're absolutely bang on. They're going to have to be at the top of their game today, because this is a really difficult place to go, and a very dangerous team with some really good attacking forward players, and it's going to be physical. But you know, there's Simo, Haps and Will are three athletic, big, strong boys that I think are more than equipped to cope with what Lincoln have if they're all at it and they're on it. But I think today's going to, for me, this is I think the intensity and the heart, the willingness, the duels. I think the duel is going to be key because, like I touched on earlier, they're a physical side, Lincoln, and they're going to want to get the ball forward quickly. It's going to be a battle, especially for the back three. So, but like I said, they're more than equipped to deal with that, and they're also really good footballers. So, once we do gain possession at the back, can they break lines? Can they find the gaps, especially with Demi and Tariq playing in those roles there? Can they get Azim on the ball and Idi a little bit deeper on? We've got more than enough quality in the team to create chances, and then I don't think we need to talk too much about Dom. If the ball falls in the right areas and they can create chances for Dom, then he'll have no issue putting the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, if it all clicks today, there's no reason why we can't go up there and get a good result.
Well, it will be a tough afternoon for the O's, but these O's like a challenge, and hopefully we'll rise to it today. And of course, just under 15 minutes to go until kick-off. And if you're watching along live on our YouTube stream, then you can follow all of the action here on Orient Live. UK fans, you can listen along with an audio pass, and international fans, you can pick up a match pass for just £10. Right then, Sean Clare is fresh from his training session and ready to join us. So whilst we go and get him ready, let's find out a little bit more about our Academy graduate evening that took place earlier this week.
Tonight the football was secondary a little bit. It was about getting the kids' families here, the boys' families here, the rest of the academy, just to sort of celebrate, looking forward to next year, something we haven't done previously. So it's an opportunity to get some photographs, get some memories going and setting some standards for next season really. We're really grateful that the club have made this offer to give us the pitch, and yeah, it's an opportunity for some of the boys to go and experience it in front of a crowd. We're expecting sort of 200, 220 people here, which I normally wouldn't get on a Saturday or a Sunday. So yeah, get used to the surface, get an experience of the surface, see what it's like.
I know what the experience is like and how big the pitch is, so yeah, I feel like it's really good. Like, I haven't had the best season, but for the club of some of the players have really helped me around it, really giving me advice what to do, what not to do. Even though I haven't played a lot, I'm still training, doing my extras, doing what I need to do. So when I do get an opportunity, I'm ready.
I feel like, especially being at Leyton Orient, I feel like one big thing about the club is to just have a sense of togetherness within everyone, and I feel like it's good definitely to come down and support your teammates. So yeah, it was good.
So we've got a whole range right across the academy. We haven't been able to get everyone here because we've had tournaments and other games and fixtures today. So yeah, it does show that sort of commitment and pathway that we've got coming through, right from under 8s right the way through to the next year's youth team, and even some of the 21s I believe are going to be here tonight, those boys that are going into the under 21s next season. The sun's been shining, the pitch is in perfect condition. We watched the first team train on it this morning, so that was another experience for the boys that have been around that. We had some of the 18s involved in that today, so that was excellent. One of the 17s who was on the bench for the first team at the weekend, trained with the first team today. So yeah, brilliant.
I feel like it definitely was a good game to watch. I feel like a lot of the younger players definitely had a run out on the pitch. I feel like it's definitely a good experience for them to play on the first team stadium, just so that they have a grasp of what they can get to if they do the right round thing. So yeah, man, it was good.
It was fun, scored 2 goals, done really well, I feel like a lot of excitement, but I feel like it was a really good game, Yeah, I had my 2 sisters, my mum, my dad, my 2 friends, and one of my closest friends are all here watching, supporting me, a couple of my other friends as well, but they really supported me, which was good.
Some of the boys have been with us since they were sort of 9 or 10 years old, so the commitment that families have made, to that 3 times a week, Saturdays, Sundays, the miles that they're doing and the legwork that they're doing, it is really, an evening for them as well.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so, tune out now. If not, keep listening. Picture this: chef-made meals from local restaurants brought right into your workplace. No sad sandwiches, no tired menus. By tapping into the local restaurant scene, Fuda powers workplace dining for companies across the US, giving teams flavor, convenience, and authenticity. Half of Glassdoor's best places to work have partnered with Fuda. Is your team ready to upgrade its workplace food scene? Find out how at Fuda.com. That's FOODA.com.
You have a choice. You can waste 20, maybe 30% of your media budget, spend millions reaching bots, the wrong people, or no one at all. Or just use 0 to 1. It knows who's ready to buy. It's over 85% accurate. Zero wasted spend. The future of marketing isn't guessing. It's knowing.
Welcome back. So we've got Sean Clare back with us now as well. Welcome, Sean. Firstly, I think all the fans will want to know what's going on. Where are you? What's been happening?
Yeah, it's been a frustrating one. I did my left shoulder. It was against Barnsley. Was able to kind of strap that up, play through it. Ended up doing my right shoulder against Stevenage. So then I had the week out. I think I missed a game or so, and then was back in for the Exeter game with both shoulders strapped. But yeah, went in for a tackle quite early on and landed quite heavily on the left one again. So yeah, just been doing rehab on both shoulders really. But yeah, getting there. I'm hoping to be back quite soon.
Tuesday come too soon? I'm guessing you'll be back before the end of the season.
Oh, for sure, before the end of the season. Yeah, we'll see how we go on Monday, where we're up to. But if not Tuesday, I'll be disappointed if it wasn't at least Rotherham.
Well, fantastic stuff. Looking forward to seeing you back in there. And of course, Sean and Jordan will be covering all the action here for us on Orient Live this afternoon. But let's take a look and see how promotion winners and championship side now, Lincoln City, shape up for this afternoon's fixture. So here's how Michael Scabala's men look this afternoon. Starting in goal is number 1, George Wickens. Across the back line, it's back 4 for them, with Thomas Hamer and Sonny Bradley in the middle, with Riley Towler and Tendai Darikwa. The captain in the fullback positions, Ivan Varfamalev and Conor McGrandle start in midfield, with Rico Hackett, Fairchild, Jack Moylan, Ben House just behind Ryan One. And on the bench for the home side is Robert Street, former player from this season, Alfie Lloyd, Zachary Geacock, Eric Ring, Deji Eleroe, Tom Bayliss and Dom Jeffries. Now we've touched on it already, Jordan, but Sean, I mean, I think you hark back to the reverse fixture where we won 1-0, and I don't think they were really, anyone saw them as potential champions, but this is kind of where they are now, and it's such a incredible journey they've been on, and they're probably a stronger side than when we played them back in October.
Yeah, I think when we played them early on, you could see they had organised players, they had some experienced players who had played in the league, and Jordan will know, in this league you do need that core. And I think what they've done is they've become very organised, they've become good at what they do, and a lot of players are probably having their best seasons, I think would be fair to say. And sometimes it just clicks like that. Sometimes you just get a season where everyone is flowing, everyone is flying, and it's gotten them where they are. I think looking on paper, you would look at their players and look at them all, and they've all been around, they've all got a lot of games. And it's just showed evidence in the league that they've just kind of grinded it away kind of under the radar and done what they've done.
And I mean, you obviously a lot of games there, but if you look at the players, and I mean this kind of thinking about maybe Cardiff, some of the players they've got, you look at Birmingham last year, some of the money they spent, whilst good players, there's no one maybe that like was the level of, you know, your Stansfields of last season. I think it's a team collective there, isn't it?
100%. I think they must have all really bought into the team collective, like you said, and they've got a lot of players who are, like you said, I wouldn't call them world beaters. They're not the big names. They're not the big money signings, the big strikers. Do you know what I mean? But they've got a lot of good players who know their role, know their job, and I think sometimes that is very efficient. Everyone doing their job really well, the whole team will just rise up.
I promise you, this isn't scripted. Like we didn't talk about this prior to. So what I've said before Shaw's walked in is exactly the reason. Right, I literally
on the same page all the time, right?
The exact same thing. But I think it's absolutely bang on the money, Sean. It's exactly why they are where they are for me, and I think it's proof. The proof is in the pudding. Is that you don't always need having a Don Ballard, amazing, having a Stansfield last year, amazing, having a Chaz, a Charlie Cat, amazing. But in terms of a group and what it actually takes to get to that top end of the table and consistently grind out results, win after win, draws after draws, and have that form throughout the whole season, I think it's crucial that you have those characters, the personality, the certain level of experience. It all needs to come together, and I think Lincoln this season are a prime example of that. And I think it also gives a lot of teams in the future hope that don't have necessarily the biggest budgets in the league to know that it is doable to conquer such big feats without being the likes of a Wrexham or a Birmingham. So it's they've had a wonderful season, but hopefully today we're there to spoil the party.
For sure.
And I mean, it's no surprise they're top of the league. They're the top scorers and they've got the best defence. I mean, looking at today's fixture, for us, defensively we've got to be on it, and our attacking players are going to have to be sharp and take the game to them as well. It's the toughest game on paper. It's the league leaders.
I agree. I completely agree. I think it could be a little bit of a cagey affair. Like you said, we need to be defensively solid. We need to keep the back door shut. But it could be decided by one or two goals. I wouldn't be surprised if we came away with a draw. But I feel quietly confident. I think we've got a good side out there. We've got a good togetherness. Obviously, the result last week wasn't great, but I think we can bounce back and this will be a really good opportunity for us.
What the players are making their way out onto the pitch now? Of course, I'm sure it's rocking up there in the East Midlands. But I hark back to just before both of you signed, and we won the league, or we claimed promotion at Gillingham. Then the Saturday Stockport come and we lose 3-0. It didn't really matter at the time, and you're obviously only focusing on going up. And what are you expecting from Lincoln today? Do you think they'll be focused and pining for the title, or do you think they might have slightly taken their eye off?
I think knowing, I don't know him personally, but knowing Michael Skubala how I do and what I've heard about him, I don't think he'll allow his team to fall into that type of mentality. I think the atmosphere there will be bouncing today. Because obviously, and it's almost fitting with their season, the way they scored the last minute goal. Moylan scores the last minute goal away at Reading in the 96th minute to gain promotion. So the energy there is going to be fantastic. I think you can see there the crowd. It's going to be a full stadium. I don't think that they will fall into the trap of becoming laissez-faire and not really being fully committed. But saying that, you in football sometimes subconsciously you can without it being deliberate, you can fall into that trap. So hopefully the boys can take advantage and gain 3 points today.
One small update: it's a late change in the lineup for the Lincoln side as Tom Bayliss replaces Ivan Vartholomev and Conte takes the place on the bench as well. But Sean, just before we pass over and looking at this one, then this is a really good opportunity to, if we want to be where they are next season, looking up the table. It's a really good test and a really good benchmark for what this squad can achieve.
For sure. I think with the core that we have in the squad, we're more than capable of doing that next season. We just need to kind of lay the foundations this season. And touching on that, I completely agree with what George was saying. We're all humans, do you know what I mean? And subconsciously, they will be feeling it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? They're up. They probably had a good celebration this week because I know I would have. So for sure, I think it's an opportunity for us to kind of build some momentum and finish the season strong.
Well, this early kick-off is very nearly upon us. Can the O's spoil the Imps party today? Right, time to hand over to our match commentary team of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
Welcome to Sincil Bank, and as you can imagine, the place is absolutely rocking, and why not? They are celebrating promotion. 24 games without defeat. Only 5 teams have beaten the Imps this season, who are unbeaten in 2026, and one of those 5, Leyton Orient, of course, Idris El Mazouni. And not only are Leyton Orient looking to spoil the party, Matt, they're looking to achieve the first double success of the campaign.
Yeah, without a doubt, going to be a tough afternoon.